a place we've never seen him before.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out! Oh my God!
KO in midair!
Because I apparently have viewers now, I'm going to fulfill my obligation to make videos for this channel. Jake, I love you guys. What is up, guys? SK here, and today I'm going to talk about the best 2 worst places to grind. Starting with the worst, going up to the best. I said that in reverse. I don't know why. Anyway, so we've gotten the Mediah content. You guys already know what's in it, so I'm not going to bore you with the details. The one big thing that I was surprised that was in it, that I didn't think was going to be in it, was the improvements of enhancing from Pride to Try. That was a very big jump. Like, I didn't expect that at all. I thought that was going to be coming in Valencia 1, but it's here already, so we get to get over prepared. Alright, so it's been a few days, so your map should look something like this. I've unlocked pretty much all of the area you can unlock for right now. As you would notice, there are new places to grind in Mediah, and we're going to go over the top places to grind from 10 to number 1, and pretty much just go by silver, why they're better to grind in certain places. So these places are going to be, I'm going to start in no random order, but these places are going to be Helms, Elric's, Sausan's, Schultz's Garrison, Main's, Soldier's Grave, Hoshr's Ancient Ruins, Wandering Rogues, and Abandoned Iron Mine. And also Pirates. We can't forget about Pirates, which is all the way over here. So one thing to remember when it comes to Mediah is that the drops that we get now have to trade into NPCs to make silver. And a lot of these places have those drops where you trade in to make silver. You trade in like a bulk amount, say 1,000 or 600, to get a sum of silver, like 1 million silver, or a weapon box, or a sub-weapon box, or defensive sub-weapon box. So that's something to remember when it comes to grinding these areas, that you're going to get these boxes. So coming in at number 10, we have Hoshr's Ancient Ruins. I'm going to say this place is the worst place to grind because the mobs here are really spread out. They hit pretty hard, to be honest, and they take kind of long to kill. You have to come in here with a really high amount of AP. I want to say above 170. They don't really melt like some of the other mobs in this area, so you might want to come in here when you're a little bit more geared. I'm saying like duo or try everything, maybe. Number 9 would be Soldier's Grave. Soldier's Grave is a really weird spot to grind at. It's just a little corner in neck of the woods, just east of Heidel. But in Soldier's Grave, the mobs there, they kind of amble along. They're really tight packed, but they amble along. They don't really follow you, and everything there has really high HP. So killing there is not really going to be efficient if you don't have high AP as well. They're the same thing as the mobs in Hoshr's Grave. Number 8 would be Rogues. I'm saying 8 Rogues would be 8 because Rogues, they're kind of spread out, and they move really slow as well. They're spread out, they move slow, and they also have a big mob as well. They have a big monster in there that's like a fighter, like a rogue fighter. Has a lot of HP, takes a little bit of time to kill if you don't have enough AP. I think I have around 140 AP, and it still takes me like a good, probably 2 combos to kill him. So for number 7, we're going to go ahead and go to Mains. Mains is a little bit different than Rogues because the mobs, while they're spread out, they run really quick. They run very quickly. But they do also have that one big mob in there that has, you know, a bunch of HP. That's going to take you at least 2 combos to kill at 130 plus AP. So remember that. At number 6, we're going to come into Helms. Helms is decent money for the fact that it drops silver, but the drop that it gives doesn't trade into an NPC. We're going to come back to each of these spots and talk about how much they trade into an NPC for with their drops. But Helms is a really good spot to grind because everything there kind of just melts under you. And the drop rate there is really good. This is also where you get part of your Asula's necklace pieces, your Asula's set pieces, which are the rings and the earrings, I believe. Number 5 is Elric's. Elric's is a really decent spot. This is another spot where you get one of your Asula pieces. I believe it's the Asula belt. Elric's in this exact shrine area up here, the mobs are not really good to grind. All the good mobs are going to be grinding around the entire mountainside of Elric's. Down here it gets to be Helms again, but around this side over here, all around here, all down here, this is all Elric's. And it's better to just grind the mountainside rather than go up to the shrine. Now, if the mountainside is crowded, just go up to the shrine. I mean, there's a few mobs up there you can run a circle in, but just be prepared to not be satisfied with grinding in the shrine if that's what you think you're going to get. Number 4 is going to be at the abandoned iron mine, all the way down here. The abandoned iron mine is just what it sounds like. It's a mine. It's a giant circle in the ground that goes down like a spiral. Your grinding is either going to be on one layer or it's going to be on all layers, and for that you're going to be running through the area and just nuking everything you see in your path. This area has a mob called the Supervisor. The Supervisor mobs have a lot more HP. They're almost like an elite. They have a lot more HP, they hit a lot harder, and they take a lot more to go down. They're going to take a few combos to go down. Even at 140, 150, 160 AP, they still prove to be a bit harder to deal with. Number 3, we're going to go up to Schultz Garrison. Schultz Garrison is a very hard-hitting spot. I don't suggest going here until you're about 180 AP, to be honest. And I don't suggest going here without being awakened. So, awakened is not in the game yet, but I really don't suggest going here without being awakened or in a full party. The mobs here hit hard. They do take a long time to kill, and they drop the same exact thing as the Sausans, with the difference is they drop the Schultz accessories. So for number 2, we're going to go over to Sausans. Sausans is a really good grind spot. This is the most infamous grind spot in BDO, to be honest. This grind spot has been fought over. Wars have been waged over Sausans. Like, so much PKing happens here, and this is just one really big spot. Right now, people are having a tough time at Sausans because Sausans, you need a party to actually run the rotations. And the whole area of Sausans just runs through this whole section back here. It runs all the way back here, up this mountain backside, all the way back over here until you get to the Schultz guards. It actually kind of comes in with the Schultz guards. The difference between Sausans and Schultz guards is that the Schultz guards are all pressed together in this one area. So you can get all of them in really one big mob and just fight them all. Whereas Sausans, you're going to have to run around and scoop them all into one mob. Now the Sausans are really quick moving, and they have long range mobs as well. So watch out for that. The long range mobs can knock you down. They also have Berserker style mobs in there that can knock you down as well. And Chariot mobs in there that can knock you down. So be careful with that. The number 1 spot for grinding, we're going to go all the way out to the sea. That's going to be Pirates. And like I said, this is for money making silver. This is not for grinding for EXP. So Pirates is the number 1 spot for grinding because it is a huge map, first of all. It is a very big map. Mobs are all over this entire map. There are numerous routes you can go on this map to grind and be out of the way of people that are trying to come in and, like, you know, grind over you or PK you or whatever. So this is going to be the number 1 spot because the things that drop here actually equal more. The silver that drop here is actually a lot more than the silver that drops on the mainland. And we're going to go over that right now. So going back to the number 10 spot, we're at Hashra's Ruins. And the main drop there is this mysterious rock fragment. These things drop in 2 to 3 per pack. And they are worth 17,000 silver per rock. Considering the time it takes to kill these things, you see why it comes in at number 10. Coming in at number 9 from the Soldier's Grave, we have 2 items. The first item being the Marker Frenzy. Now you can trade in 600 of the Marker Frenzies for 1 million silver, which is a 10G gold bar. And these are really the common drop of the area. They drop 1 through 3 per mob at a very high rate, as well as dropping from the elites of the area at 8 through 10 per mob. The second item from Soldier's Grave is the old identification tag that drops at an uncommon rate. The trade-in value is 600 old identification tags for 1 million silver. So because the drop rate is uncommon and because the mobs take so long to kill, you understand why this is at number 9. So at number 8, we have the useful coin pouch coming from the Wandering Rogues. This thing has a trade-in for 2 different NPCs. One, it can be trading in for an offensive sub-weapon box, and the second, you can trade in 600 for 1 million silver, which is the constant in this region. So you're seeing a trend that most, if not all, the items are going to be trading in for 1 million silver in this region, and that will also help you decide how you grind. So the reasons the sub-weapon box can be useful is one of them is just to help you recover your weapon if you have dropped the max durability too much, which is fine. I mean, I get it, it happens sometimes, and you don't want to spend the silver it takes to go buy the actual weapon again. You can just go ahead and get one of these boxes, trade it in, and get the weapon from that and recover it that way. Though if my math is correct, it'll always be more lucrative to take the silver over the sub-weapon box. Coming in at number 7 is mains with a bunch of loose main hair. Now this is the other one that can trade in for a sub-weapon box, but this time this trades in for the defensive sub-weapon box by using 200 of the main hairs. as well as trading in 900 of them for 1 million silver. Now you can obviously see which one is the greater value just by checking the marketplace, because defensive gear doesn't really rise in price. So coming in at number 6 with the helmet ornament is Helms. And I feel like I have to explain this one because this one doesn't actually trade in for anything. It actually just sells to the NPC for 840 silver. But the sheer amount of drops that come off of Helms, you get a ton of these. You can grind for an hour and not realize you have 2,000 or 3,000 of these things. And because they weigh so little, you have the room to carry so many of these, along with the silver drops that drops at all the mobs in Mediah as well. Helms drops a decent amount of silver. I will literally tell you that you will have over 1,000 of these before you collect 600 main hairs. Also going along with the fact that Helms drops the Asula set pieces, the earring and the ring, and you can get 4 pieces right there from Helms. So it's really good to grind at Helms for silver plus this. So coming in at number 5 is the Elrics with the Cultist token. The Cultist tokens trade in for 1 million silver at a 600 per rate. I've got to say Elric is one of my favorite grind spots, but you don't want to be caught up there without 150 AP or more, because things up there do hit pretty hard and they don't go down really easy. There's also a mud monster of a mob that lives up there that spams knockdown moves, so watch out for that as well. And I say watch out for it because it's not easily killed either. Also, Elric's dropped the other Asula piece, which is the belt. At number 4 in the abandoned mine, we have the broken shackles that trade in for 1 million silver every 1,000. This is also the place where you get your Asula necklace, so keep an eye out for that as well. At number 3 and 2, we have the Sausans and the Schultz. I'm putting these two together because they practically have the same drop. That being the case, they all drop 3 drops that have trade-in value. The Sausan supply package trades in at 2 different locations for 2 different amounts, both yielding 1 million silver. At the Western Guard Camp, you'd have to trade in 600, whereas at the Summer Outpost, you'd have to trade in 800. Now, the difference between these two is the distance when it comes to trading in. But of course, anyone that wants all their silver is going to take the 600 trade-in. It is also worth noting that this piece has the lowest drop rate of the 3 pieces. So the second drop at Sausan's is the armor fragment, and you can trade in 1,000 of those for 1 million silver as well. These are actually more of a common drop than the supply packages, so you'll find yourself at 1,000 very quickly. Alright, so we're on the last drop of Sausan's, and this drop is the road piece, which trades in for 1k for 1 million silver like the last piece. But you might have realized something else. When we got to Sausan's, the weight of every drop increased by 0.20 long ton. Now this might turn you away from grinding here because you can get over encumbered really quickly, but there are a few things we can do to supplement that. Along the sides of Sausan's, there are safe spots where you can drive up your mount or your wagon and park it, as well as on the outside area of Sausan's in the front here. If you're grinding the back area, there's a little wharf back here that you can actually park your mount on, or there's a little section of rocks over here you can park your mount on and just leave your mount there or your wagon there. And you can use the whistle or your horse flute to actually summon your mount to a specific spot to where it doesn't aggro mobs. I'm telling you this because you can actually take your mount, and if you connect Kusha to Velia and rent the storage box from the NPC in Velia, you can actually take your items here, put them in the storage box in Kusha, and they'll be able to transfer to Velia instantly. That way you don't have to take everything and run it straight back to Velia and then run it straight back to the Western Guard Camp. You can just get everything in Velia and then go to the Western Guard Camp. Because Western Guard Camp is going to be your turning point for some of your drops from Sausan's. So coming into the number 1 spot is everyone's favorite grind spot, Pirates. I know you've probably heard a lot about Pirates because the GMs actually stream Pirates a few times during our waiting period. And in this current content block, Pirate is the best spot to grind silver, hands down. So part of the reason Pirates is so famous for grinding silver is because of the pirate bandanas. You trade in 40 for 85,000 silver. The trading point is Lima Island, which is on an island a few blocks away. And I'll show you guys on the map in a second after the next drop why exactly this is such a good spot to grind, and why the turn-in is a good idea, and how you're actually going to grind there efficiently. So the other drop of Pirates you're only going to get once in a while. It drops with a 1-to-1 ratio, and only a few mobs drop it. You're probably going to complete 300-400 of these an hour, whereas the bandana in an hour you'll probably have 1.5k or so. Now if you go back, you'll realize the difference in the weight in the bandana and the weight in the old longsword. The old longsword only weighs 0.01, whereas the bandana weighs 0.30. One of the biggest issues with Pirates was that it took a lot to get to Pirates, and once you got there, if you got over encumbered, you had to leave. So what players did was they would take a boat, put their mount on the boat, surf the boat over to Kuwait Island. Get their mount up. There's an NPC on the island that you can go to repair. Once you enter the island, it's like a little cave off to your right. You can go there, take your mount there, and leave it there so it can be safe. Your boat's gonna sit wherever it is on shore, and from there, you're just gonna go grind. Once you get over encumbered, you take stuff back, put it on your mount, or put it on your boat, or both, depending on how you grind. So I was telling you about the trading on Lima Island. Lima Island is this island right here. It's literally just right across the water from Kuwait Island. You're just gonna surf straight across. So what players did when they got too over encumbered is that they would take a box from Ilia Island over here, connect it to Lima Island, and there's a house here on Lima Island where you can set it up as a residence. You put the box in here, and it will connect you to Ilia Island over here. That way you send everything over here where there's a storage on Ilia Island. And when you're done just grinding for however long you feel like grinding, people have pulled 12-hour grind sessions, 14-hour grind sessions, 20-hour grind sessions in Pirates, and then took all of their haul and brought it back to the mainland. Now you're probably trying to wonder why they're bringing their stuff back to the mainland, and why can't they just go straight from Lima Island back to the mainland? So there's also these other drops that kind of make a big difference. So each place in Mediah also drops these coins called ancient coins. That's their tag name. They come with a notation in between, like ancient iron coin, ancient silver coin, and ancient bronze coin. These coins are trade items that weigh 1 long ton each. The difference is each coin has a different worth, the ancient iron coin being the cheapest at 3,000 silver base trade-in value. Now hopefully we all know by now that trade-in items increase in value the further they go from their destination, and that is something important to remember, and I'll tell you why right after I finish with these coins. The ancient bronze coin is worth 5,000 silver, while the ancient silver coin is worth a whopping 10,000 silver. Now you remember I told you the further you take your trade goods, the more money you make. Well, the furthest you can take it on this map right now is Trent, or you can take it to Alta Nova. But if you are leveling your life skills and you focus on trading, you might want to hold on to those until Valencia comes out. And first of all, Valencia is going to offer a better trade distance because Valencia is like somewhere over here, and then there's another town somewhere all the way over here in the corner. As well as if you become Master 2 trading, you also get a desert trade buff that drastically increases the price of items you trade in Valencia. So that is something to think about when it comes to holding onto these coins or just trading them in at Trent or Alta Nova. Now obviously in there are a few more drops that I didn't talk about. Of course you can get gear, you can get other accessories as well from these places, and that can also increase your profit margin. So go ahead, take some time, go through the BDO Codex. That is the site I use to get the screenshots for these items. I'll put that in the description as well. But take some time and go through these items and figure out, you know, what you're gonna do when it comes to grinding for silver, because these are the best ways to grind for silver at this point. To be honest, they're honestly the best way to grind for silver when it comes to Valencia as well. Some people will actually just stay at Pirates and grind continuously at Pirates. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you find this video useful and helpful, and pass along to anyone else you think might be having problems grinding for silver. These are the best ways to grind for silver, like I said, for the current time being and possibly into the far future, until at least Kama Silver comes out, because Kama Silver drops silver like crazy. So we don't have that long to wait for Kama Silver, to be honest, because on the roadmap it showed that it should be coming up soon. So I guess get your grinding in while you can, get your money right now while you can, and go ahead and help the game progress. So thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. And this is SK. You can also message me on Discord if you guys need any help. A lot of people have been trying to find out how to get in contact with me. You can message me on Discord. On my Discord is the same as my YouTube, except there's a little dash in between the K and the I. And I'm willing to help anyone. A lot of people aren't willing to help out when it comes to being in game because, you know, typing on the Xbox is really weird, and I really don't like typing on the Xbox, to be honest. So message me on Discord. I'll be fully willing to help you, or anyone that, you know, needs help when it comes to information on the game. I'm a wellspring of knowledge. I've told people this before. I'm willing to help anyone that needs information. So reach out and I'll be here. Peace.